Okay, a little better. Alright everyone, welcome. So today on the bench I have an Amiga CD32. I've actually already stripped it apart just because it's a lot easier to work on something without having to pay attention to the camera and pay attention to where I'm working. So I've already tinned all of the 100 microfarad points, which I have right here. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, the owner of this board sent it in with a Console 5 kit, so that is what we're using. Generally, I would use my own parts, but not a big deal. Doesn't really, the only thing I don't like is these wrappers. They are very sticky. Anyway, so I like to use tweezers. Pretty much the only real option. So one thing to note, there are different styles of tweezers. So these are more pointy style, as you see. These are a more wide. Depending on what you're doing, one is better than the other. So for this, I'm probably going to go with these, just because they tend to give a little bit better support. What'll end up happening with the pointier ones, sometimes you can fling what you're working on. So, again, I've already tinned the pads, so just liquefying the solder, sticking the part down, making sure I have good contact. I'm not terribly worried about getting great contacts. I can always go back over it with flux. So. Now, these are the right size for these pads. Sometimes you can get capacitors that, well, of course you get them all in different sizes, so sometimes you can get capacitors that are way too big for the pad, and while yes, you can use that, I really hate to. So alright, so we have done 4 so far. Let's see. This will be number 5. Okay, that one's done. Got 3 more of these to go. And those are all, I believe, at the top. One there, and I gotta remember where the other one goes. And to try to get them as flat as I can against the board. While not critical. You don't want it to be all, cattywampus on you. Alright, I got one left. Where does that go that I missed? Got one there. Ah, goes right there. Okay. Alright, so this will be the last of the 100s, and here we go. Alright, we'll go ahead and go over all of the joints we did. Yep. So one of the reasons I go one by one or and do all my soldering at the end, my final soldering at the end, is if you accidentally put one on backwards, which isn't hard to do. Alright, so right now I got a little bit of a solder ball. I don't like, while that isn't strictly going to hurt anything, it's just ugly. There we go. Add a little flux, Amtech. You can use whatever you have. I have some MG chemicals here, although I find this stuff is really harsh. And, you know, don't be afraid to turn the board with, you know, where you're working, get a better angle. Whatever you do, you don't want to burn, you know, burn part of the board, because you can add flux if you find that's necessary. I don't find that's necessary because solder has it, and if for any reason I do, I could just, you know, add what I need. So I believe that's the last of those. Oh, one left. Missed one. That's why you double check your work, right? Never assume that you got it all the first time. Even if I hadn't, I would have caught it on my review. Before this goes out, it would get reviewed. Alright, so there we go. Moving on to, just gonna dump these out. What do we got? The 47s. We'll go ahead and do those next. Okay, so there are 5 of those. By the way, if you're wondering, I use leaded solder. Very easy to acquire on Amazon. By the way, you don't need to flood the pad with solder. You know, if you don't put enough originally, you could just add more. But you know, if you add too much, you know, then you got to clean it off, and you know, that's a pain. So try not to add too much to begin with. You can always, you know, add some flux, and you'll find that a lot of times that the solder will adhere quite nicely. That a lot of times I see people doing, you know, soldering work, they add just way too much solder. Will it hurt anything? Arguably, if you have a bad joint, it can mask, you know, a bad joint. So let's see. Okay. Am I? Ah, that's why. Okay, there we go. Yep. If you're wondering, I was looking at the wrong map, and I was trying to figure out why there were capacitors on the map that weren't on the board. You know, because I was looking at the wrong map. Probably should have done this before. Could just very well be talking to myself here. But let's see. It's gonna go. Just want to make sure I'm not just talking to myself. Okay, great. I'm not. Cool. So should have did that before. New streaming setup, but it's alright. All worked out. Let's go back to our map. So, alright. So, I have all of those on. Now we're going to go back through and actually solder them down. And that, again, I don't solder both sides at the same time so that I have a moment to review my work. And be careful when adding, you trying to use solder as your flux. Flux is flux, solder, solder. Even though there is flux in solder, if you try to use it to clean up bridges, you may create a worse bridge. Just a little tip. Okay, all of those are done and all look good. So next we move on to the 22 microfarad. And careful when you open these, because very easy to, with the vibration, to actually gotta bounce them out of the container. So, I guess this goes without saying, but probably does need to be said, I guess, because people do it. Please don't use solder paste, mainly because you're either going to use too much, which you're gonna, because solder paste is meant for use with stencils, and if you're not using a stencil, you're using too much. Secondly, if you're going to do a lot of soldering, and I'm not leading by example here, I do have one, and I should probably hook it up. Use a exhaust fan. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and hook mine up. There we go. So one of these really works really well. It's just to get the smoke out of my face. There we go. Now, hopefully that's not too loud, but Where was I? I'm going to switch to these just because I happen to pick them up first, but then in case you're wondering why I use them. There's not the thing you got to be careful with these is you can because these are round. If you squeeze too hard, they can like shoot out. That's what ends up happening whenever I use them. But yeah, this isn't hard. However, doing it right takes experience, which is not to say not having experience you can't do it. Just take your time. Double check your work if if something looks off. Don't assume that it's that it's right. All right, we are almost done with the 22s. I make short work of this, I swear. Oop, and it dropped it. Yeah, I'm gonna switch back. The other thing is those are a little more springy, where these aren't as springy, so they don't. There we go. I'm very happy to have this live stream set up finally. I haven't even shown some of the best parts. There we go, and that it. That was it. Yeah, let me show you some of the stuff I haven't actually so I'm gonna go in and switch over to my microscope. So if I come over here and I say boop, so now I have my microscope and you can still see me. Hi. Although I do need to adjust the framing because it was meant for a different setup. But anyway, as you can see, I can move this and there we go. You can see exactly what I can see. So if I was going in and trying to look at a trace, we'd be able to see it together. And I can zoom in even further if I needed to. Adjust my my focus and yeah. And there we go. And that's a good enough amount of room. I have in front of me a hot air workstation. So if I need to do but there we go. You can actually see yeah. So and then I also have my capture card, so Joe, I'm using an Eakins, Eakins. I got it off of AliExpress. I'm using it as a USB device, which is great because I don't need to power it. It does have HDMI out though, but that, because of I think probably power requirements, needs 5 or 12 volts, which I don't want to have to deal with. And then I haven't done it yet, but I need to zip tie this on, and then I could go right back to the streaming setup. I'm using a $14 just standard from Amazon microphone arm, or not microphone, webcam. Because it uses the standard threading for a webcam. And yeah, that's it. I had a more complicated setup, but honestly, for what I do, the only thing I would recommend is probably putting some either Loctite so that the threads on, you can't see it, back here do not come loose. Although if you're gentle, probably won't be much of an issue. I then have on the bottom just some cheapo, whatever you could get, 96 or whatever, plate. Now, what I recommend, that's a different story. You can get a lot of I can't remember what the manufacturer is, but you can get a lot of clones of. I paid probably like less than $200 for all this. Plus, I have a Barlow lens with a 1 to 5 times, 1 to. Actually, I'm not even sure this lens is working properly because it's kind of weird. It says it's supposed to do up to 5 times, but the notches are kind of weird, so I'm not entirely sure. Yeah. But I am very happy so far with this setup. Everything is going through my just a GTX 1050. You're gonna laugh, but I got it out of the trash. Recycling specifically, not. But you know, who cares, right? It's a free card, does the business. The capture card, same thing, out of the trash. My capture card is currently hooked up to an OSSC, which then goes into this SCART cable over here, which will allow me to not only show you audio working, or video, but audio. To test this, I actually have, if I can figure out where I put it, I have an edge connector that'll go on the back here, and then give me SCART, or yes, yep, that's SCART out. So if I hooked up a FrameMeister, I could have actually instead done both SCART and composite. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably I could test composite upstairs. Once I'm done. The power supply is down on the floor over here. All right. So next we are doing the 10 UF microfarad. So those go. Oh, you know what? I realized I never soldered the 22 microfarad caps down. I got excited to show you guys the setup. Okay, I think that's all of them. Yeah, okay. And now to the 10s. So the 10s are right here. Then under there. And finally, there's one. So alright, actually, you know what? I am gonna ping. I forgot that I should have done this before. I'm gonna send the owner. Alright, there we go. I should have done that before. Alright, so. By the way, if you're wondering what iron I'm using, this is a Hakko FM203, which I only really bought to be able to use my my actual soldering tweezers, which, if I'm being honest, I need to buy the right tips, and not in a hurry to do that. They cost a lot of money. They're $65 for the tips. You know, they have their uses. I just haven't gotten the nerve yet to spend that kind of money. Now, I do need to spend some money on that stuff because my my FR301 needs new tips. Okay. Not gonna lie, doing the so I'm doing one of the right. It's really hard to see. You won't be able to see it, but there's these little tiny metal components. So the trick to that is make sure your tip is bone dry. I have like a little metal bale, and then I put some flux down, and I just go in there and kind of just heat it up. And that way, and also I keep my tip off the metal, of course. But, you know, there's not a lot of room. That's where my soldering tweezers, which are these guys here, would be okay if I had the right tips. I do not have the right tips, so therefore they're not good for this job. It's fine. No. That's where I say, like, the practice. A secret to that, push the cap as forward as you can get. I didn't do that, and that would have given me a little more real estate to work with. You know, again, I've done this enough times that it really doesn't matter, at least not to me. Alright, so I think those are all soldered down. That looks good. And I'm going to go back through and make all my joints look super pretty when I'm done. And there they are. I'm calling that out specifically because I know if Mr. Paul Resendez watches this, he's going to criticize everything I do. I love you, bro. You're allowed to. You're one of the only people that can do that. But, you know, so I have to go back over. I'll go back over it and make sure everything's pretty. He'll tell me he would have gotten it right the first time, and he's right. Probably would have. With this, we have 4 caps left. These 3 have already been replaced by the original owner. The current owner bought it from, so I do not have to worry about that. We'll double check the polarity. So, about polarity on a CD32. So, like, actually the Amiga 4000s, they put a few caps on backwards. So, well, how do you know if you need to fix them? Well, good question. Because that's not always obvious. I have ran into boards that the caps are not on backwards. In fact, if I had just blindly corrected them, then they would have been on backwards. So, I will show you that in a second with my multimeter that's over here. Can't see it. But it's very easy. You can do it with even a super cheap multimeter. It's a good trick to know because it could be helpful if you find where ground points are on a board for some reason. Maybe you're doing a mod or something. Not uncommon. Okay, I'm going to go over that one with some... So, good tech. So here's the thing with soldering. Soldering is not about solder. It is, but you also need to factor in that the pins that you're soldering to need to be soldered to, not just the pad. So when you're soldering, you want to take your iron. I'm gonna see if you know what. The education time with our new setup. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the microscope. And I'm going to just show you, even though you won't be able to 100% see because I've already soldered it, but you'll get an idea. So we come back over here. So let me get a pointing apparatus. So you have the pad, and then you can't see it, but let me see, do I have a cap laying around I can use as an example? In fact, because I can even then, there's a little blank space. Give me a second. I'm just going to grab a cap. This is completely arbitrary. It has nothing to do with anything, but it's a little lesson for those who are learning to solder. Because this applies to both surface mount and to regular, through hole. So, not actually going to solder this. Mainly, well, I guess I could only solder one part of it. So the orientation of this is a little weird, so I'm just trying to find. Here we go. Okay, so C306. Again, I can do this because I'm not going to solder both sides. There's normally a cap, not actually here, but anyway. So if you look, you have a little leg, and you have the pad. So pretend this pad is blank. In fact, do I have my solder wick laying around? I normally just use my desoldering gun, but that is not currently on. And of course, I don't know where my wick is at the moment. Did that work? Kinda. That's flat enough. There we go. I just wanted to kind of make it no, not really. Alright, we're going to use the, I'm going to quickly warm up. I want to show you guys kind of the right technique to soldering, because a lot of people do it wrong. And I have really good solder wick, and I just don't know where it is. As you can imagine, I've been kind of reworking things over here, so things kind of have been shuffled around a little bit. Sorry. There we go. See? Didn't take long. We're good. Alright. So, let's take a look at our new surface here. And that's you don't have to do this when you solder, by the way. But you should. Don't not do this. So, we put down the cap. And I guess I might as well clean the other pad too, so it's flat. Impromptu, aka zero preparation, because okay. Anyway, I promise I'm an expert. So there we go, and so there we go. So what you want to do is you want to heat up not only the pad but the metal. So this is why I will come in and I will tin that, and then I will bring in the part. I will liquefy the solder here, bring the part in. It's okay to like just kind of let it, settle in. Then again, liquefy. Oh, you can't see. I'm sorry. Board. There we go. Come in and bring your iron to the metal, and then come out. Now you know, and if you wiggle it, you have a really solid connection. Again, not actually going to leave that on there because nothing actually goes there. But you want to make sure you're getting contact with both the pad and the actual component you're soldering. Because if you actually watch good soldering versus bad, what you'll notice is that the solder will not only connect to the joint, but it'll actually flow down into the hole. So you'll have a hole, the leg goes through the hole, and on the other side you're soldering it. You want to know the heat long enough that the solder will actually wick into that. That's why if you ever look at the top of the board, you'll see solder on both sides, because the solder actually flows up into it, because solder flows to things that are hot. So with that, well, this board is done. So I'm going to quickly go over it and just kind of reflow things that I just kind of quickly did. More or less just because, you know, why not make it look good? This is more or less purely cosmetic. There's absolutely no benefit from this. But if somebody looks at it, you know, the joints aren't all, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not spiky. Alright, I think that's everybody. So ideally when you have good joints, it won't look bulbous. It might, it shouldn't. You know, you want to try and not do that, because that usually means you don't have you have a connection, but you know, that can happen, I find, if the cap is pushed one way. But you know, try to go in there and just, again, with a little bit of flux, not a lot. You just need enough that the you know, the solder flows. And sometimes you'll even notice that you'll end up with a little bit of solder on your tip, which means you probably had too much on the board. But if we look at this, overall, this is pretty good. So I will need to clean this board up. However, I also need to figure out what dinner is. So let me see if I can find where I shoved the back edge connector thing I was talking about. I didn't think I would have planned that part out, because I'm going to need it. I had it. I had it because I also have my. I also have a. What do you call it? Accelerator that goes with it, which I could test as well, though that's not strictly necessary. Where did I put that thing? I need to get some drawers and things for stuff like this. That's been on the to-do list. There's an accelerator. Well, it's actually not an accelerator, it's a memory mod. I really need to order another one, because I can't put it on my personal CD32 if it's, well, you know, being used as a test piece. I'm worried it's over here. There's a bunch of stuff you can't see. I put it, it's just kind of put over there. Bag of capacitor. It might be over here. Bunch of empty static bags. Power supplies. I need to actually. Yeah, I'm going to stick that board in right now. A, before I lose it, and B, because there we go. For all you Amiga folks, this is a Macintosh 2SI power supply. I just am going to stick this board in it before I forget. So, you know, you stick around soldering forums long enough, you'll be told, don't just put solder on your iron. And that's a very true thing. You don't generally want to do that. Solder will oxidize very quickly, so it won't actually flow like it should. Okay, now I'm getting a little annoyed because I should know where that adapter is. I saw it when I was getting things prepared over here, but now I'm not seeing it. Oh, wait, is that it? Ah, found it. It was under a few things, which I'm not terribly surprised about. Wait, is that it, or is that something? Nope, yep, that is it. Yeah, I got it. No matter how much you think you're organizing, usually you're making things worse. Inside. Alright, come on. There we go. Okay. There we go. Got a bunch of totally useless electrical tape on the back because of the contacts. Alright, so this goes on the back, like that. And then we take our SCART cable I showed you earlier. And for some reason, every connector design is upside down, no matter how many times you think it's right side up. Okay, so got our connectors. Let me figure out where I put that big honking power supply. I thought it was right under here, but I don't see it. Oh, wait, there it is. This is ginormous. Okay. Here we go. I mean, this thing is heavy. And I feel like if I drop that on my foot, I'm going to need a new foot. It ain't going to be foot loose, it's going to be foot lost. Alright. So, let us... I was already in the right spot. We're going to go ahead and we're going to switch over to the capture card. I need to change that. to sync. Now, it's probably going to look a little wonky because this capture card doesn't because there's scaling settings and whatnot on the on that. But nope, that looks good. All our colors look good, and I see nothing to be concerned with there. If I wanted to, if I had my other accelerator, I could go ahead and actually probably boot into Workbench, but nope, that looks really good. So, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Now, I have no idea if the sound worked. Let me turn this off. Let me lower the noise floor. I don't have audio here, so you might have heard it. I did. Yeah! Well, it worked before, so thankfully, okay, yep, I can see the capture card audio coming in. Wonderful. Sweet. With that, we are done with the recapping. So I'm not using a GBS, although if you're going to use one of those, which I highly recommend, I recommend you go and actually modify it with GBS control, which will give you much better scaling options. I'm actually using an OSSC with a actual capture card that captures HDMI. It's some like, okay, cool, awesome. Yeah, I gotta get speakers. That I gotta, now that this, so before I was working off like an old Core i3, maybe it might have been a Core i5, I can't recall, but it was just, you know, horribly inadequate for what I was using it for. Although, to be honest, I was only using it for like browsing, you know, the internet, looking at schematics, things of that nature. But you know, and then whenever I would try to stream, it would, you know, use 100% of the CPU, and it could, you know, couldn't actually do that. And I couldn't add a video card. So I own a RetroTink. I own basically every scaler, you know, known to man, except for like the Rad 2. So I'm actually going over this with hello. Yeah, you were with Techknight. Yeah, actually, so we did, when I say we, as I don't really mean my business, but, you know, I guess it was still my business. We actually did we actually had our own exhibit, on game development consoles, or game console development, so that was fun. Ah, yeah, that was great. I really wish the DDH hadn't died. That really hurt, actually. Now, I was mentioning the whole figuring out whether or not you needed to reverse your caps. So, on this board, positive is I've never gone to Midwest, mainly just because I don't. That's probably a bit of a drive for me. Where's the positive mark? Oh, there it is. Okay, so on this board, for this cap, positive is on the top. So it would be right here. Now, if you look, you can see that's actually negative. So if we want to know whether that is the correct orientation, whether they have it right, not Commodore, because we know Commodore could have put it on backwards. So this, by the way, if you want to know what meter this is, this was a $48 meter. Joe, what do you have, by the way? I have so many. I had my, we had a Xbox 360 dev kit, PS3, GameCube, PS1, some test units. Alright, so I have this on continuity beat. You don't need to use that. You could just use ohms. As long as it's reading 0, then you know. But anyway, I'm doing that mainly just so you don't, because you can't obviously see that. So if we find anything metal, you'll notice all these metal shields. Anything generally metal is going to be grounded for, obvious reasons. So we want to make sure that the negative here is correct. So if we come over here, that's the top, it's correct. And in fact, if we go and look at this one, which negative's over here, even though positive's over, even though this is the positive side. Woo! Yeah, you guys got the logistics on your stuff's got to be insane. Like it was already a nightmare getting set up for the thing I did. I can only imagine what you guys had to go through. Yeah, that sucks, man. I have a Dreamcast kit that does not do anything. Like, it will boot into the Katana, into the retail OS, but I cannot get it to show up as a development kit on SCSI at all. Nice, a Slim kit. I do not own a Slim. Hey, there's there. We were talking about you, and with all the actually, I was talking about you to be specific. And yes, I'm enjoying my. I'm enjoying recapping all the things. I'm just cleaning up the nasty little flux. Because perfection. And then this is ready to go back to its owner. Who I feel really bad for. He got shafted on a 1200. It was an NTSC, so it was worth the money he put into it to have me fix it. But they were like, oh, you don't need caps or any of that. And of course, it needed everything. The caps had leaked, taken out the 12-volt circuit. Thankfully, once you figure out where that is, wasn't too bad. But this is done. So I'm just going to set it aside. So somebody sent in... Yeah, here we go. I was just working on a Amiga CD32. I just was recapping it and giving soldering, help. But I wanted to look at this 4000 since there's a few people actually here who would enjoy seeing some of the stuff I actually have to work on. So this board, oh yeah, let me fix my stupid, you know, I never considered the whole, you not being able to see me. I need another webcam, huh? That'd be the treat. Well, for now, that's good enough. So this is a 4000. Get all the crap on my desk out of the way. And well, what do I got here? Yeah. All right. So let's start pointing out the obvious. It was an Amiga. Yeah. Yeah. So we got, immediately speaking, and man, this already, you know, yeah, it'd be sexy if it didn't need work. But yeah, we got a bad trace there. I'm gonna end up taking off this socket here because I already know that's gonna be a mess. So more than likely that's probably gone. I'd have to check. This, of course, is fast RAM, and of course the stupid chat is now too low for me to see it. Yeah. Let's see. What else well, hold on. You haven't even seen the worst of it. Yeah. So, while we're here, yes, this is all for the battery. There was I tried to clean this edge connector. I think I got it all right. I'm gonna end up cleaning this board again. With my ultrasonic wasn't all the way warm, but I just wanted to, it was only at like 32°C, which is totally not warm enough for this. So you can see, like, I can already see, it looks like there's a trace broken. No, it was just some gunk. So, I actually don't, I was told this board is boots to a black screen. I mean, generally it all looks good. Yeah, it looks a little nasty, but, so I'm going to use kind of I use this on anything that's nasty like this. Just some sandpaper, and I lightly, go over. I want to kind of expose as much as I can. And I'm not using a lot of force. I'm just kind of like trying to get as much of the dark as I can off. I mean, if it breaks, it was already broken is kind of the general rule, because you got to think, like, these traces aren't that weak. Alright. Well, that didn't really help much. Now, this is gonna get a little bit more questionable to some people, but I assure you, don't worry. So, like you can see right here, like, see how that broke? Actually, I can't tell if that's broken or if it's still, yeah, so like you can see the trace wasn't even there, because if I do it in another area, you'll see like the coating comes off, but not, yeah, so that one was probably, it's hard to tell again. No, actually it's not, there we go. It's just really corroded. So let's see if that's actually, Ideally, you want to use like a polishing wheel. I don't have one of those for this thing. Oh, I turned it off. So you can see already. Look, no beeps from here to here even. No beeps from here to here. So you can see, like, we're already, and obviously I didn't touch from there to there. So that means, like, that was already broken. I guess let me expose more of these. Yeah, so you can see when the trace is good, that doesn't actually damage anything. In fact, it just removes the top layer. But because this one was so bad already, it revealed that the trace is actually, weakened. And the sandpaper will do the same thing a lot of the times. The problem is I need to remove this chip if I'm really probably going to get serious. I was just throwing this on the bench. I wanted to start taking a look at it. This is going to be probably a long-term project. The owner's aware of that. There we go. So, once again, those are clearly still intact. Now let's start. Beep. Okay, that one's good. Okay, that one broke just using my probe. Yeah, no, I know, man. I'm starting to just get an idea of what I'm up against. Oh man, it looks like the mic volume might be a little high. I see it clipping. There we go. That should help. Yeah, no, absolutely. I have that chip off another board, but like you can see, like that broke. Yeah, I'm gonna need to clean. I'm gonna remove all of the chips over here. Go over it. Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm just getting an idea of what we're up against. Oh God, you can see. Beep. No beep. So this trace is done. That one's done. Oh, okay. Okay. It's about as bad as I was expecting it to be honest. I'm not terribly surprised that it's this bad. Let me turn on the hot air machine. So I use this tool called a hot air gun. It's like for stripping paint. No, I'm kidding. Don't ever do that. Please, for the love of God. Yeah, no, that chip's done. And of course, it's got to be an FCT, which you can't really replace that with anything but an FCT. So, I'll take it. I have a board I stripped down that I'll use. Okay, I gotta make room for my hot air. It's like back there. Give me a second. It's... Yep. Yeah, usually when I do something like an SE30, I will, like, so if I do a 2, I actually had somebody question me why I did this. I worked on an LC2, and they go, why did you remove all the components? I removed everything. So I removed all of the components, mainly because I wanted to know, this webcam is so dodgy. I don't know why it does this. You know what? I don't like the unreliability of this thing. So we are instead going to throw that over there. I do not want to... Oh, I have fixed... bro, if you need someone to fix the 2000, let me know. I have fixed over 60 of them. Okay. I need a power... just get a floppy emulator. Do you have a GoTech? In fact, let me throw the ROMs in. If you have a GoTech, you can just use it with flash floppy. That will work. Okay, I'm just gonna set this over here. So, I need a power supply for the camera. Let me see what I might have a. You know what? Hold on. I think I have for you always helping me with dumb shit. Yeah, here we go. Do you want one? It'll work on basically any computer. It'll work. It's just a standard flop. It's a I pay like $30 for it, but your time is obviously costs more than that. So, and you're always helping me out. If you want it, I'll happily send it over to you. You just toss in a USB. It doesn't matter what Kickstart ROM it has. Because it's a floppy emulator, you can run anything you want off of that. You can even you can use that in, like I said, a normal PC even. Yeah, it's just a floppy emulator. You could configure it to do different things. It's kind of like almost like a SCSI'd SD. Although a SCSI'd SD, requires a little bit of configuration. Well, that was close. I really wish I had a pair of wire strippers down here. You know what? You need, the GoTech needs flash floppy, which it already has. You know what? I don't care. This is good enough. I just need a positive and negative. Anyway, there we go. It's not different firmware, it's different configuration options. Flash floppy will work with a wide range of things. Like, you can configure it to be a shoe guard, you can configure it to be basically whatever you want. And now he puts his soldering abilities on public display. I know Kier, the developer of Flash Floppy. Well, I don't know them. I'm in a group with them. So, you know, like I occasionally... Okay, so before I was mentioning with soldering that it's, you know, if you were to just kind of like go, you know, put solder on this and put it on the leads, it's not really going to work all that well. Let's see. I mean, even if there is, if it's a different firmware of Flash Floppy, I have you could just update it. But I mean, I won't lie, I've never used it besides for Amiga, so I could be way off base on that. You could just ignore me on that. Oh, did I reach the max zoom? Huh. I had zoom and then it like stopped zoom. That's really weird. Okay. Well, anyway, before I was mentioning you want to heat, in this case it's 2 pieces of metal, or 2 strands of wire. So you got to be careful because you can easily melt the sheathing. But you want to bring the iron, put it on there, and then actually feed the solder through the wire, not from the iron. And now that gets tricky, though. Again, with temperatures and that, I'm not getting into that. But if we look, you can see that. Focus on the right thing. Focus. Well, you can see it's one solid like piece of metal. So that's, you know. And I'll just repeat that. And if you're wondering, this is just to power the camera. It needs 5 volts. And I found a whatever you want to call this, a AC wall wart. Okay. And this is where, and now we'll turn the show into Techknight corrects how to solder, because I'm an idiot. It's what I've learned over years, so I could be way off. You know, I wouldn't say way off because it's, you know, from better people than I, but you know, it works really well. I think like Ben Heck. I learned that from Ben Heck, although he's gotten a lot of flack lately in the retro community. I saw Ron's computer, that he was having some, he had like said something to him, and I don't know the exact story on that, but I did, you know, see that there was some something going on with that. Well, I don't know where any electrical tape is. So I'm just going to steal this electrical tape. I don't care. I'll figure it out later. I mean, I could have just used a bench supply or something like that, but this AC wall wart has 1500 milliamps, which is probably way more than I need for powering this little thing, but there we go. Hey, that'll work. Oh, key thing, double check the polarity. I already did that, but I'm going to do it anyway. Why? Because you always double check. So we'll throw this on volts or on DC. I want center positive because almost nothing in this world uses center negative. And there we go. 5.2 volts, which is fine. Under load, it'll dip down. I can tell you, I have gone back to my like old soldering from when I was like, I don't know, like 20 something, and like to now. Wow, did I not? Yeah. So if you ever have something and you're like, oh, I need center negative, right? So there's a few ways you could go about it. So I just bought one of these. So I just grabbed one of these guys, which will allow you to set different voltages. So it will do 3, 4, 5, 5 volts, 6, so on, right? Yeah. So it does not give you the ability to change polarity. However, if you know how to solder, even a little bit, you find a end that I don't know what the exact end is, but it's the same one as this. And if you're me and you bought one thing, but you bought one thing, but you bought 10 of them because everything comes in bulk. You buy, you have one of these. It's just, DC barrel jack. You can plug it in. Well, if you have that, you just then take another one of these and rewire it. So you just flip the polarity on this so that you have an adapter and don't have to damage your original connector. And also, if you need to connect different things that this can't connect, you could just wire it up with one of these, little heat shrink, and you're good to go. That's my tip of the day. Yeah, Casio also liked their center negative for some unknown reason. Don't know why. But there we go. So this is done. This now can plug into the camera, which I will then unplug and rewire or rerun the wire. There we go. I need to get. I have one upstairs, but an HDMI switcher. But I can now connect this to HDMI and get a higher image quality, I guess. The USB is just really dodgy. I've had it drop out a few times. I don't know if it's... I don't think it's an issue with the actual computer, because I've not had my webcam drop out. So, yeah, Atari Jaguars, I want to say, are center negative. So, again, that's where being able to make, adapters is quite nice. Yeah, okay, I didn't see I have a cable in the way. But yeah, the Jaguar, I'm positive, is, so are the Sega Genesis, I believe. I want to say the Sega Genesis is also center negative. Only certain revisions, though. Like, I think Gen 1 is, center negative. So, people, oh, oh God, that's annoying. Can I get that off? People will tell you, oh, it's great to have magnetized, magnetized screwdrivers. Not if you recap things. Oh God. Oh God, somebody did not know what they were doing. Oh, here we go. Pliers. There we go. I have no idea why this was on the bottom, because I'm pretty sure it's the wrong thread pitch. given that it looks like they stripped out the whatever this is, definitely the wrong thread. I don't care. It goes over there. All right. So what next? What other joyous Amiga do I have on my bench? Another 4000. This one is not so bad. This one actually isn't too bad. Well, I say that now. I have yet to get into really looking at it. Well, let's bring up the, let's go back to board cam. I'm going to call it board cam. Is that okay? Yeah, board cam. There we go. And this should be a lot more reliable. So, yeah, 2000s are really good, dude. I would encourage you to start playing with it. All right, what am I so upset about? Well, that's the only thing about this arm I don't like is it a little short. I need to move. I should probably just move move that, but we'll figure that out. So. Done it. Oh, it's gross. Oh, it's gross. Oh, why me? Why me? Oh, it's gross. Ah, it's gross. Yeah, it's gross. Alright, let's try and use my my tweezers to remove this. Even though they are totally the wrong tip. I don't care about reusing these caps, so I don't care if I, totally mutilate them. I am not going to proclaim to know how to use these tweezers. In fact, any advice on using them? I'm pretty sure I'm using the wrong, I have the wrong tips. These are meant for, like, removing chips, but I'm waiting for this thing to just explode in my face. Come on. Yeah, I need to order. The problem is the tips for this damn thing are expensive. They're $65 goddamn dollars. And no, I'm not going to do what you're thinking. I'm just trying to get a good grip on it. Although I probably could just, it'd be faster to just rip it off. You know what? Okay. Yeah, they're neat. And just, again, because I have the wrong tips, they make wider tips that are more like blades. Those are meant for removing like this stuff. Oh, you can't see my finger. For removing this. Yeah, they've gone up $2. Don't I know? I have an entire little thing of them that are clogged that I can't figure out how to unclog. And there's like, I'm pretty sure it's like there's something stuck in it. I'm not gonna lie, oh, it wasn't. I couldn't see your. Yeah, I have drill bits. Yeah, unfortunately, every time I try them, they do not want to. All right, time for the big guns. Where's it? I can't find the lens, but I got it off. Here we go. Yeah, I might have to try putting the drill bit in a real drill. I used it in like a hand thing, and that just did not want to work. Oh boy, I'm getting the Red Lobster smell. Okay, these tweezers, no, I'm not. I'm. Yeah, I gotta try that. I definitely need to try that. Alright, now I'm in a tighter space. Where are my normal tweezers? There they are, way over here somehow. Okay, I can already tell this is way too hot. And my airspeed is way too high. One thing, if you do not keep an eye on your temperature, you're doing little tiny surface mount caps, they love to explode. Ask me how I know. I really don't really. There we go. Alright, boys. Oh, God. Come on. Microphone. Okay. So, now that we're in a better place. So I swear. I feel like it should be bigger, but probably just because I'm used to it being on a screen. Alright, as you can see, we got a lot of nice there we go. So this would be a case where A, ventilation, and B, oh, can't see me. There we go. This is a different board even. This is not even that first board you saw. Yeah. This one I'm not as worried about, honestly. I'm going to end up removing this. We're going to get rid of that. If I have these, I'll replace that. I am solely cleaning off the old solder. Trust me, I'm not going to waste my time with braid. You'll see my secret in a second. This is just to get like the solder. And also, I don't know where the crap my solder braid is right now. It's around here somewhere. I misplaced it. I'll replace that. I'm not actually using any real force. I'm just getting it liquid. The secret is, you know, just use your desoldering gun. Yeah, it works great as an abrasive. I'm not arguing any of that to be, it's just, I'll clean, it's right now I'm just trying to get an idea of what I'm up against. I don't doubt that I use the same, tricks. I'm just no. Okay, you go over there. Okay. And in fact, I will eventually need my braid for cleaning up a lot of this. But I don't know where it is. Alright, I really gotta find where my zip ties are so I can properly route this cable. But, come on, now you're just getting in my way. There we go. Yep, story of my life. I actually need to order more braid, to be honest. But, there we go. At least we can get an idea what we're up against. Alright. And that's just wiping it dry. I didn't even have anything on the paper towel at that, just to try and get a majority of it off. Now let's actually, there we go. Okay, I see very questionable vias at the minimum. Yeah, they are. In fact, there's a board view. So I'll be able to like really go over this in excruciating detail if I find that that's actually necessary. Yeah, okay, we got a via right there that I gotta figure out where that goes. that one. I haven't ultrasonic this board yet. That'll be I gotta also do that. Just who wants to play? Is that a broken trace? You know, probably it could be. I believe I have these in stock. I don't believe those are the. Those could be though the filters. Which, if that's the case, I don't actually have a easy replacement for those. All right. I'm hoping these are not what I think they are. There's $4,000. Red B. Alright, I'm setting up a screen capture. Nope, not a, I don't know what that, not a game capture. Display capture. There we go. Oh god, that's gotta be sickening. Alright. So, here's the 4,000. And what I want to know is what these are. Okay, great. Those are just standard, those are easy. That is not as easy, though. So, I don't know. I think I ordered the right replacements for these. This I know I have. This is a bit of a different story. Alright, so... yeah, so there's that. Okay. So, as I suspected, one of these is not easy. So this is an MPF 102, which good luck getting. I seem to recall that there's an issue with getting them. Like, maybe, you know, it's probably something else I'm thinking of then. I probably have those then. I imagine I ordered those. I need to find where my replacement, where my replacement, fiberglass pens are. Ah. Oh. There they are. I don't know what I'm thinking. I mean, I'm possibly thinking of just the wrong thing then. I think that's labeled wrong. I think that's what it is. That's not actually a general purpose FET. I seem to. Alright, so things that looked kind of ugly, not as bad as I was afraid of. I still need, I'm gonna still be concerned about, where's my resistor I use for poking into holes? I could probably use this for. Alright, well, I've taken a look at this at least. What time is it? Apparently, need to fix the clock. 9:30. Okay. I need to go figure out what I am doing for dinner. I think this was a very, very good first test. I have, just to kind of give you an idea of the few things I have to work on, I have a Mac Classic 2 that I need to recap. I have an SE2SI I need to recap. I have a portable I need to recap. Oh, you know what? Actually, while you're here tonight, Mike, so I remember your name. So, whoop. So here is that guy. You remember that guy. So for those who don't know, this is a custom resistor pack from I'm assuming Dale is the so okay. I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but yeah, not going to work. Yeah. So anyway, I put it on beat mode so you can hear it. Okay? So here we go. Wait, no. There we go. So if I probe here, where is it? It's pin 4, right? Not pin 3. See? It's dead. It's dead, Jim. And what's weird is it's on the bottom, not the top. I'm willing to bet that the resistances are probably fine from there to there, but yeah, it's shorted somewhere there, which I'm not exactly sure how that works. If you have any idea on how that works, yeah, I've told the owner I'm done with it. I can't. Like, I thought about keeping it in in dremeling. How would I do that? To dremel it down? Probably like nitric acid, or something like that. I mean, if it's not too difficult to get and doesn't put me on some government watch list. Okay, yeah, no, that's not what I wanted. Scale. There we go. That's okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to do with it. Because, again, like, from this side, it's fine. It's really... This is the top. Wait, is it? Yeah. So... Yeah, I mean, maybe? But from this side, it's good. So it's weird. It's weird it's shorted here. Like, yeah. I need to solder on one of his chips, and I'm done with. Then I'll be. There's not much I can do with that. Then I got this board. I started putting sockets on it. However, heat obviously just melts the sockets. So my thought was that could be what, well, yeah, maybe. Here's another one. This one works. This is the one that's got the video issue. While I got you here, maybe you could... so, I need to go look at this. Maybe while I got you here, I'll look at the schematic and we'll see if we could get that working. Because I want to... Because I need... wait. No. This is the wrong one. Oh, that's the bad one. There we go. Oh, you know what it is? I'm trimming the top. Okay, that's what I did, is I trimmed the bottom. There we go. There we go. Now you can actually see when I am in that mode. Okay. So, yeah. You were saying that two are connected. Yeah, it's like pins 6 and 7 or something like that, but they're also bridged together on the board. So I don't know if that. I doubt they're internally connected. Oh yeah, also pin 3 and 4. All right, I'm gonna go grab the schematics for the portable to see if I can figure out what is missing on the video side. I'm just installing WinRAR real quick, and also waiting for archive.org to take its sweet time. So, how do I figure out? So, how do I figure out then? Uh, Still waiting for the stupid thing to download. At least I only have to wait once. Well, might as well turn this off. I mean, I only really need to know. Okay, finished downloading finally. I do not have a backlit cable. Dude, you realize I can't even get one of these things, let alone have a cable for it, right? I need to find the video. So let me get this straight. You were able to get a copy of the Apple schematics for the non-backlit one, but couldn't get the backlit one. Couldn't do that. Here we go, video interface. Okay, so am I looking at FP data? Is that what I need to look at? Because that's 8 bits. Or V data. Yeah, I just need to know. That's exactly what I plan to do. Don't. Okay, which one? You could. You say yup, but there's a gap here. So V data or FP data? I'm gonna guess like FP stands for like flex port or something like that. I should get Discord on this computer. Yeah, it's hard. Okay, it's hard to tell. I'm gonna have to look for the actual LCD then, because that's the video interface. Serial interface, swim, sound, miscellaneous, power. That power manager can go to fucking hell. Keyboard, hybrid. That hybrid could go to fucking hell too. Bunch of test points. Where the hell's the actual LCD documented in this thing? Did I miss it? There's the 68,000. There's the ROM and RAM. CPU and glue. And then it just goes to video interface. FP data. Okay. Alright. Well, we'll start with pin 7 because that is the easiest one to count on here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Eh? Did I count wrong? Huh. Should I see see it multiple times? Because I'm getting, for example, I'm checking pin 7 on the video, and it's beeping multiple times. Is that normal? Seems kind of odd to me. Then I must be doing something wrong, because I counted from, on the chip here, 7 over, which is, from pin 1. So, yeah, right. Yeah, it's got a probably a pull down or pull up, whatever. Somebody's asking me, should they buy a Macintosh portable? And first question I asked, does it work? $300. Alright, back to figuring this out. Figuring out the stupid mistake I'm making. Okay, so it says here the video chip U15D, which is what I'm on, right there. Pin 7. That is definitely a 7. Yep, pin 7 is FP Data 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Consideration. It's not open. It's shorted to ground. I don't think it's open. I think it's shorted. Pin 7, shorted to ground. Alright, and I'm just going to compare one of the... Oh, you know what, though? Oh, I might be... this might be a trap for young players I hadn't thought of. I hadn't thought of this. Just because it's beeping, I didn't look at what the meter is actually reporting. Nope, that is actually... Okay, that is actually a dead short. So, it is not... Okay, so I'm gonna... Wow, the first one I pick, which is what you said. It was bit 4. It was, or 3 in the array, but it's 4. Because 0 index. Okay. Now the fun part is, where is it shorted? I've already removed. Well, I don't know why I'm doing that. Like that's gonna make you see it better. So I already removed these. I already checked over here. Nothing there. Let me check the. Let's look at the bottom. Readjust focus here. Yeah, no. 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 Yeah. The problem is, I don't have a board view, so I don't actually know where that trace even comes from. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. At this point, I'm kind of left without a choice but to do that. All right. The problem is, if it goes on the bottom of the board, figuring out looks like I got to remove this capacitor just in case. Next to Q7. Okay. I have better access now that I don't have this cap in the way. Yeah, that is invaluable information. So here we go. Let me adjust focus again. There we go. So there's nothing odd on the top, at least. Do you know which one of these it is? C14. That's C11. That's C9. Okay, so C14 is right here. Now, these caps already looked this way before I got to it, just as a, before you go, wow, they look ugly. I've already verified this is not shorting. I know it's ugly. I need to coat it, but possible there's something going on here that I missed, even though I swear I checked it. Here or here? Because I checked, there's no short here. So more than likely it's right here. Let me warm up my, I'm going to warm up the tweezers because they're going to be the best to getting this off. Especially without, like, really... Ah, shit, you know what? I think you're right. No, I think you're right. I think I must have missed that. Or thought I did, or just didn't notice it. Very possible. I didn't notice it. Yeah, because you can see that's kind of, I'm also going to check that via, I think, at this point. Alright, let's see if, we still have a short. Nope, that was it. I'm an idiot. Oh, good, because that means I can get this guy out of here, too. No, you called it, man. I just fucked up. Sometimes you need a second pair of eyes, man. You know, I thought of taking those off. I really got to check that via. That via looks smoked. I swear I went over this, but I guess sometimes, you know, even your best eyes are your worst. Yeah, you called that. I hate these things. Just not enough, what do you think the best way to, like, avoid this shorting again? Yeah, is that a V? No, there's no via there. It's just the way that, runs. I mean, I guess I could throw, you think nail polish is good enough? That's what I'm gonna use. That's what I was gonna use on this. Yeah, it probably just bridged over. I want to make sure that trace looks a little questionable. Alright, that's just... okay. You think I'd be good with just a little nail polish on that? Just to isolate it? Yeah, I used to have some. I had a UV overcoat that I would use. You use ceramics. You, of all people, use ceramic. I cannot believe I'm hearing you use ceramics. Thought we got rid of Charles. Yeah, this spot is a bitch. If you have the wrong size capacitors, you're just fucked. It may look dumb, but it's only dumb if it doesn't work, right? That will do just fine. Once that dries, it'll be nice and there we go. That will insulate that as well. I can't believe I fucking missed that. I feel like a dumbass. Like, I should have noticed that. I don't know how I didn't. You know what it is? I probably thought I did a good job, a good enough job, like, not doing that, but yeah, it'll work. Nail polish is great for this. It's like a varnish. It's alright. I'm not charging the guy for this time anyway, so I'm a fair person. Like, he's paying me for the, for fixing his recap. It all works out. I do everything I can to help people. Yeah, it's great. I've used it on a lot of things. There's nothing wrong with using absolutely nothing. I mean, come on. Like, I've had to do shit like this, which I need to clean up this area. I need to coat that, but I mean, that's solid. Looks shitty as hell, but it was either that or figure out where to wire and run a long ass wire for what? To gain nothing. Like, that's super strong and reliable. No reason to overthink it. I'm actually really enjoying like just having somebody like just drop in while I'm kind of fixing shit up. Gets lonely. There we go. That's good. I'm just gonna clean right there. Do the old twirl whirl. Clean it up. There we go. Nice and clean. I might fix that joint a little bit, but I think it's fine. The other part of it just didn't get all of it when I soldered it. It's fine. Well, one way to test. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. I'll just move that back right there. Because oh hey, I found my solder braid. I found my braid. There it is, and I am almost out of it. Oh boy. I need to go order some on Amazon right away, actually. Because, yeah. Solder braid is my lifeblood when I deal with this shit. Dude, I'm using an old, from my work, an old, it's just an old, one of our appliances. Because I could not find a system that had the right. By the way, I'm a huge proponent of using acetone until you spill it. Totally have never done that. Never have I done that. Ever. Ever. Totally never done it. Oh, Lord, 2 megabits. Dude, that's barely enough to even post a Twitter status. There we go. There we go. There we go. No, there you go. You're good. You're good. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah, that is, oh my god, rough is not the word for it. Yeah, see, like, that's not. Here, I gotta move that over. Here we go. Come on. I should have just left it alone. See? So what I get when people are watching me. I overthink things. You know what? Is that... How good... How are you? How's that connected? Not really all that great. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to move this. There. Let's move part of our issue out of the way. There we go. That's rock solid. Now I am satisfied to put my name on that. And also put some of the green stuff, as you guys call it. But yeah, now I'm happy to put my name on that. I don't feel like that's... Alright, I'm not going to resolder that missing cap for the moment. So that we can... Okay, double check. Yep, okay. Make sure that one cap I didn't resolder. Out of the way for now. Okay. Okay, nothing blew up in my face. That's always a good sign. Hey! There she is. Yeah! She looks good. No missing lines. We have a mouse cursor. Waiting for a flashing floppy. Come on. Yeah, I'm quite ecstatic. That's a lesson learned. That's why, like, when you were like, "Oh no, it's right," I'm like, "Then why is it beeping?" And I was like, "Ooh, shorted to ground," and that would make sense. I haven't gotten the missing drive yet, but it's probably oh there it is. Got a flashing floppy. All right. Well, I think that sure, yeah, probably a good idea. No, so far, nope, nope, nope. Everything ice cold. It's cold as ice. It's willing to sacrifice my Mac. I've seen it before. Happens all the time. Nope, everything was cold. Cold, cold, cold. The only thing I'd like to try is Scuzzy. But you know, I want to get the cat back on first, I guess. Hey, bro, thank you, man. Seriously. Like I said, if you want to, if you need, let me know if you do need this. Yeah, if you need this, let me know. Happy to. Yeah. Actually, you know, I do have my floppy MU. I'll try that probably. But I gotta get this one last cat back on, and then I gotta go figure out food. So wrong way. Time to use. Yeah. Either way, I can help you with that. Get it open. Let's take a look. I can help you fix it. I can let you know kind of what the common faults are. So just get it apart. Start there. I can definitely help you fix it. You don't need one if you have a keyboard. At least to be able to test things. If you have the, since you have the keyboard, you can at least test things. Alright, and with that, I think I'm going to find my phone. Alright, I'm out. Thanks, everyone. I'm actually going to let the owner know about his board.
Hi.
Hey, good news.
Oh, is it like no lines?
Yeah, so I'm gonna, on live stream, I'm gonna admit to they already know though, because I already, gone over it. But the cap by the IO, the two small ones,
Yep.
yeah, underneath the one on the right, somehow I completely even missed it. With an exposed trace, so I just put some nail polish on it, let it dry, and then I was able to get that on there. It boots, no lines. I had found that it was shorted to ground, so yeah, she's good. I'm just gonna double check my work here, make sure. Oh, seriously.
Have you tried a speaker on it?
I have not. And oddly, even though I put that nail polish on, it's still shorting. Oh, I see why. Okay, I see. It's right there. And I guess to everyone watching, this is a lesson in why you double check your work and assume nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I had a feeling that happened. It's
Try that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very tight area. It got it.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, no more short. Perfect. It's a very tight area, and this is kind of a lesson in more solder is not more betterer.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like this probably could have been all avoided if I just bought like electrolytic caps, but.
All right. Yep. Yeah, dude. Don't. I'm not. The time I spent to fix it. Like, I'm not. Don't worry about it, man. I mean, like, it's all. We're all family here.
Yeah, working. Hopefully, it has sound. I don't know, because it also had lost sound after I did it, and it was working before. So.
All right. I'm just doing some final cleanup, and I'll connect the battery. If you give me a second, we'll see what. It's possible. Ah, you. That trace is so dang fine. I'm actually going to clean up this connection with some braid, which I just found. It's possible that because this data line, I don't know what exactly all connects, like whether this is all just for the video. Like, it's possible, like, it tries to talk to the sound engine through this trace. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I think it was no sound through the speaker, but sound through the audio port on the back, so I don't know.
Weird.
I think, yeah, it was strange. I'm not sure. I mean, it could actually be that trace. Hopefully, I mean, it's not the end of the world if it has no sound, but.
I had it and then I bridged it again. It's like I said, it's a very, very, very close connection. Okay, there we go. Actually, I think I was stupid and was just testing the ground because I'm an idiot. All right. So, let's try sound real quick. Let me find my, and that just connects to J16, right?
Yeah, I think, yeah, it should be that. It's just a little. It's the same as all the other Macs.
Alright, I don't even need to connect video to this, but I probably should just because I tampered with that area. Okay, connect that. I'll just leave that hanging. I mean, remember, I did have to redo a lot of the, a lot of the caps were barely hanging on. So it's possible. Oh yeah, no, they like a lot of them were not even. Like I would like touch it on one side and it fell off.
Yeah, I mean it was.
So I don't think, personally, I do not find that. I hate even doing this with electros, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't realize like all the other boards are fine. It's just this one that was a pain. I don't know. I haven't done that many, but yeah.
Oh, that explains why that doesn't work. At least. It did!
Yep. Okay. That's amazing.
Oh no!
Oh.
I pressed the button. You're good.
Okay.
Let me connect my floppy MU to it, and we'll see if make sure she boots.
Yeah. I think that should be fine. I got it booting before the floppy MU, so.
Yeah. Look, it's the first time I've ever used a floppy MU. Give me where's my little adapter board that it comes with? I bought this thing and I've never used it.
I mean, I love mine. Like, it is so helpful for pretty much everything. And, I mean,
well,
all these old ones.
That's what I use my SCSI, my blue SCSI for.
Yeah, I want to get one of those. I'm probably going to put one in that, because it's like...
This should have an internal floppy connector, right? Yeah, there it is.
It also has the external one. So.
Yeah, I don't know where the adapter is for that. Otherwise, I would have used that. Would have been what I used, but I don't know where the adapter is. It's in my drawer somewhere. I bought it. Like I have it. I just haven't. Okay, there we go. We now have. Okay. I need to set this to what? Smart port?
Well, it depends. Do you want it to, I mean, if you just want to, like, boot to, I don't know if you would have that. You could set it to, like, HD20 emulation, I think. I think you have the Apple II firmware loaded. You have to flash Mac firmware on it. So it won't work with the Mac until you do that.
Oh. Did not know that.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying because I have both, so you have to. Yeah. It's like you have to put a file on the SD card and then you press like a key combination and it does it. So.
Well, darn. Okay, well we'll assume then that because I know the if I'm not mistaken the SCSI port on this does not provide power, correct?
I'm not sure.
I believe that the external SCSI doesn't provide power. Well, I'll try. Even though I don't think it'll boot this operating system. But...
I mean, it'll say it can.
Yeah. That's... pretty sure... because I worked on one of these. Yeah, it doesn't provide power to the external. Just as you have to provided power, and I don't have a way to do that because my Blue SCSI's an external. Oh well, you had it working. We'll assume that she's still good.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine.
All right. Well, I will probably pack her up tomorrow and have her out on Saturday.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. It's great we finally got this guy going.
Yeah, it was one of those. I was talking to Techknight, who you might have seen. I think we talked. We had already mentioned, and he's like, "Yeah, you're missing this data line," which I kind of figured it was a data line, but I found it was actually shorted, not missing.
Yeah, I mean, I had a feeling because after that 68 KMLA post with the same thing, where
yeah, but his was in a different area, which is crazy.
Yeah, it was that little. That one was like the easiest cap on the whole board. It's funny. that one in the middle of the board, just like sitting there. But
there's one cap I'm a little concerned about. I want to take a look at before, which is the one. I guess it doesn't matter at this point. I can clean that up. Which is the one on the left, on the far left. It's like very very loose, and I can't remember if it's if the pads are just loose and I just need to like strap it down. So I'm just gonna.
Is it the one like on the row of 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. The pad like started to rip off. Is why it's like that. So, I mean, yeah. I think the pad is like half lifted. One of them.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. I have soldering tweezers, so it's not a big deal to remove. Like, I just want to make sure it's actually still not, that it isn't broken.
Yeah.
And also, clean under, make sure I didn't miss anything this time. All right, let's see. Just want to make sure. Alright, so okay, yeah, those are definitely still good. Like you said, just a little weak, so I will probably just put some glue on it.
Yeah, I mean, it should be fine.
Like I would have thought like once it was soldered down, like because I was it would have stiffened up, but it didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like hanging on there or something. But because I mean that one went through a lot of abuse, I think so.
Alright, throw some Fluxy Flux on that. I gotta change to the Flux bottle. Grab my hot tweezers. And of course, you can't, you don't leave well enough alone, and I don't think it. I think I'm okay. There's so little room in this thing.
I don't know, is there any boards you think are worse than this one? Like, with the caps being so close?
No, this is probably the worst, honestly. Because usually... Oh, there we go. Maybe it wasn't soldered all the way the first time I did it, because I just redid it, and that thing doesn't move at all. It's rock solid now.
Okay.
Weird. I don't know. Or it was just I got it, and maybe it's like at an angle or something, and it's keeping it stiffened, which I have seen work. So, but yeah, okay. I need to just add a little glue to a few small areas just as a caution, but other than that, okay. Yeah, I wouldn't ratchet on that, but it's at least for the moment not going anywhere. All right, I'll get some glue on that, and then I do need to coat some areas I scraped just because I was checking that they weren't damaged. All right, so where was that? Right there. And a little dab right there. Okay. And yeah, so you were pretty close on but again, with the way the capacitors were, that wouldn't have been very good for the system.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't realize how hard that was going to be when I wish I would have just sent it to you in the first place, but I thought it wouldn't be that bad, but I was wrong.
All right, there we go. Yeah, so I fixed the trace in the back. What I did for that one is I put a little jumper wire to the trace that was damaged. Again, I'm going to glue that down. But I just covered that up with some, what do you call it? I mean, your soldering for the, everything else seemed okay. I didn't really see anything too concerning there.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to try and contact Bruce or something, because, like, the cabs are just too big for this board. And I don't know. I wish it was just, he would have put the smaller version of them on there.
So the thing you got to realize with tantalums, and this is why they're not really ideal for every job, is you have to derate them. So you can't. So let's say it's a 16 volt cap that was originally there, right?
Yeah.
And you have to know what voltage is actually going through that, because you have to derate the cap for tantalums. If you want my honest answer, polymers are better. You can get really tiny polymers that are like super, super small.
Yeah.
And
then, like,
they're better than tantalums because, one, they don't explode.
And then, like, ceramics are bad too, right?
So it depends on what they're being used for, what the original capacitors are being used for. I'm going to advise not to use them, but Techknight says he uses them near the I/O headers. So
Yeah.
some people do use them, but I don't know enough about like what the circuit is doing to properly answer whether you can or cannot use them in every circumstance. You can't use them in all circumstances, but honestly, polymers are better, or just use electrolytics. Like, there's not that much gained from not using them.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I'm going to do. I used ceramics on the power book I did, which is kind of half broken, because that's what everyone else used. I don't know. But that worked really well, kind of. Except I think there's Techknight said there's a broken trace on it somewhere, so I don't know.
Why? What's it doing?
The so the screen, it works in like the top half, but then the bottom part, it's like the contrast is way higher. But if you put a window like right in this little zone, it'll look fine. So it's really strange. I have it. There's a post on 68K MLA I made about it. It's pretty weird.
The big problem with those is there's no documentation. There's no schematics. There's nothing. I have a few PowerBook 100 boards that are just dead.